Hi guys, and welcome back for another video here at Ricky's Vape Spot. Today we'll be taking a look at the Cleito and its RBA base or RTA base by Aspire. So when I look at Aspire from a standpoint of other Chinese companies like Joytech and Kangertech, they really don't come out with as nearly as much products as the other ones. But in my point of view, when they do come out with a product, it's usually a good thought through product. In my opinion, that's exactly what the Cleito is. This is one of those products that came out a while ago, and it basically gained its popularity simply with it being a good tank. A lot of times when products come out, there's a lot of hype around them, and that basically settles pretty quickly. With the Cleito, on the other hand, it came out, there was hype about it, people continued using it, and people still continue using it today. And that's one of the reasons why I actually wanted to take a look at it. On the other hand, when I heard there was an RBA system, that was definitely it. I do prefer to build my own coils, but I also like to have coils that work great with the product that you buy. So the Cleito, in my point of view, is basically all that. Coils that you get with the Cleito, in my point of view, just perform as they should. They give you awesome flavor, loads of vapor, and on top of all that, they do have an RBA section. So today we'll not only be looking at the coils that come with the tank, but also at the RBA section that you can purchase separately for the Cleito. And at this point, I would like to give out a big thank you to the folks at Padlica for making this review possible. So without further ado, let's go down to the table and have a closer look at the Aspire Cleito. And here we are with a close-up look with the Aspire Cleito and the Aspire Cleito RTA system. So we'll put this one aside for now and just take a closer look at the Aspire Cleito. It comes in this long box. It says Aspire here, Cleito, broad flavor, temptations airflow, vast vapor, and incredible, simple and easy to use. And with some infos here on the back, as well as some scratch and check code on the bottom here. So to open it up, we'll have to peel this little sticker off here and then just open it up like so, I guess. Okay. Inside we do have the tank itself. And here we'll put this aside for now, and here we do have this little leaflet showing you how to fill and assemble or disassemble the product. We do get a warranty card here. We do get another coil, as well as some silicone rings and vape bands, vape mod bands, stuff like that. So everything that you can use to protect your Aspire Cleito tank. Those vape bands on the top, as far as I know, are basically here to protect this top cap, and I will show you why you might want those. Inside we do get an extra spare glass, another coil, and this is the 0.2 ohm coil, 55 to 70 watts. Huge and massive coils here. And that's basically it, what you get in the package, and as you can see, there's a lot of it. So we'll put the replacement glass here. So now let's crack this tank open. A nice and smooth threadings here. You can basically put this away just for cleaning. And this is the 0.4 ohm coil, 40 to 60 watts. Coil itself screws out of the base simply by unscrewing it, and we're left with the base. So inside you do get a 0.4 ohm coil head and a 0.2 ohm coil head. Juice flow holes are massive here on both of them. And as you can see, design wise, this is the base, this is the coil, which functions basically as a chimney as well. And then the glass comes on top, just press fits in. You would fill it now from here, and then you would put on the top cap to close it off. Those little rings here are basically to protect this top cap from getting over hot or for burning your lips. So what you do is basically just put the rubber thingy on top here, like so, and then it would sit there, protecting you from getting burned, or maybe even the tank from breaking. Okay, this is a whole glass tank here, so this is probably, if you drop it, it will break. Just keep that in mind, don't throw it around. And the top cap here is actually not a standard one, but this one press fits on top of this, so not from the inside but from the outside. And you can actually use some standard, let me just get this one out here. You can actually use some standard drip tips on top here, but this does look kind of funny, I guess. Let's try this. Or you can go with a look like this if you want something smaller. Okay, that's about it. That's a closer look for the Aspire Cleito. Let's take a look at the RBA system here and what we get inside. For the RBA system, it comes in a box like this, Aspire Cleito RTA system. I'm not really sure why they call it RTA system. Easy to build, dual coil, 2-post deck, temptations airflow, intense flavor, a great flavor, large enough for Clapton coils. So right now we'll just take a closer look at what comes in the package. We do have a small instruction manual here. We do get some organic cotton. We do get huge amount of extra O-rings here, some extra screws, and an Allen key wrench, and of course the RTA system or the RBA base as well. And if you compare that to the coil, this is enormous. Not huge in height, but huge in diameter. So this definitely will put in some extra liquid displacement, and you can fit much less in this tank. So as it is right now, let's just try and see how this will fit inside. I will unscrew the top cap here, remove the coil, and screw in this RTA system. And already you can see that this is pretty massively huge. So when I put on the glass tank section, I think this might fit like 2 mils of juice or so. It does look pretty cool, but as I said, the juice capacity goes massively down. And I know that the Cleito has a bigger glass tank option, which might work a lot better with something like that. But Parlica, they don't have it in store, so I guess you will have to order that somewhere else online. This is what it looks like with the RTA tank system or the RBA base inside. So let's just take a quick look at this RBA base. We'll put aside the glass tank. So to unscrew this, we have a few options. It does screw apart in 2 points, as you can see here, from the top and from the bottom. From the top like so, and from the bottom like so. And this is basically one piece right here. The deck is pretty massively big, and it's one of those velocity style decks, so I'm sure you can put in big coils and fit inside almost any kind of build. Those are 2 Clapton coils inside, but we'll get back to the RTA system in a later close-up when we actually re-wig this. So right now, put this back together again. I will for now put in the 0.4 ohm coil. I didn't mention before, we do have airflow control on the bottom of the tank right here, and this goes on all 3 slots, so a lot of airflow. And basically this spins around, so it doesn't click into place, but you can really fine tune it, and it's the tolerance of turning this is really nice, really smooth. I like it. Okay, so let's put back the glass section here and screw back the top. Or actually, let's fill this up first. So as with any of those coils, you really want to prime them. I usually put some juice on the side here just to get the wicking going. Maybe drop a few drops in the center just to make sure that this is okay. And that's about it. So let's put back the glass section, fill this up, fill it up all the way to the top. So, and then just put back the top cap. So we'll let this sit for a while now, and we'll go back to FaceTime and have a vape, of course. So I actually did the unboxing for the Cleito a few days back, just in order to be able to test it out in real world usage, and I really have to say that those coils are performing awesomely. The only downside that I can maybe find is that this tank is a real juice whore. I'm going through one full tank of it like in an hour or so. Of course, if you're vaping it more frequently. If you're holding yourself back, you might get 2 hours, but definitely carry a bottle with you. So the coils that come with the tank are absolutely phenomenal. I haven't tried out the RTA base, or the RTA system as they say. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take out the RTA system, wick it, and then we'll simply check out how this works. Okay guys, and we're here with the Aspire Cleito RTA system. It's a dual deck, as you saw before. We'll just take it out. And here is the RTA system, or let's simply call it the RBA base. We'll unscrew it from the top here, and here is the other section. I will leave this on my Pico, screw in the base here. So when we look at the base here, we do have a Clapton coil installed. We basically see that here we do have those juice wells that are feeding right from here. So what we're gonna do is basically just slightly tuck in the cotton here. Underneath the coils here you can see the airflow coming up from underneath. So that should work pretty well. Oh, it's 0.4 ohm. Let's try and fire that up. Heating up nicely. So I definitely decided to go with these Claptons simply because I think they should perform really well. So those are 3mm coils. Let's just, today I'll be using cotton bacon. I actually really like cotton bacon simply because it's so easy to use and you can basically always get the right amount. That should be fine. We'll use the other piece on the other side. Like so, get it nice tight inside. So I don't think you supposed to stuff in the cotton in those holes, but what we're gonna do is just slightly tuck it in. So we'll leave approximately like half a centimeter maybe, something like that. You can basically get it to the outer walls of the Cleito. I think that's pretty much okay for the length, maybe a little bit more. Okay, now let's tuck it in, just really gently. Let me see how we can do that. Yep, should work fine. So the only basically important thing is to keep the cotton fluffy here and approximately just cover those holes. They don't need to be all the way down. Let's go with this side. Yep, it's fine. And this side. Of course you can put any type of coils inside, whether it's temperature control or normal coils or bigger coils, pre-made coils, whatever works for you the best. Oh, that should about do it. So let's juice this up. That should about do it. So right now we put on the RBA base side section, or the chamber section, and now the top cap section like this. Looking pretty good inside, and that's basically about it. I really think this is a pretty nice and large deck to work with, so I don't think there should be any problems in getting any types of builds inside. So what I'm gonna do now is I just want to actually measure how much juice we can fit inside. So I'll just fill up the syringe approximately. Okay, so I put in 2 mils of juice. Let's see the juice capacity. So 2 mils is about the juice capacity with the RTA system. Maybe we could fit in a little bit more, but once those coils suck up the rest of the juice, yep, let's call this good enough. So approximately 2 mils of juice with the RTA system or the RBA base. Let's close this down. Let's check the ohms, 0.4 ohms, 0.41. I think that's good enough. Let's go back to the top, have a vape, and talk a little bit more about it. Okay guys, so we just installed the RTA system or the RBA base into the Cleito. Let's go have a vape and see how this performs. Pretty impressive. A lot of clouds. And massive juice consumption as well. It doesn't have any problems with wicking. But yeah, pretty impressive. I kind of do even like this flavor more on with the RBA base. The Clapton coils are doing their job pretty well. And I think I do get some different flavor notes when using the RBA base than when I'm using the pre-made coils. So let's talk about a few pros and cons for the device. Let's go with the cons first, and there's not many of them. So the only basically cons that I could find for this device is if you're anywhere near to chain vaping, you might find that the tank is getting pretty hot at some times. And that's why basically they included those silicone top caps. I'm gonna put this on now. So you basically just you get those caps with the tank, and what you do is basically you slide them on, and after that you just put on your drip tip. So that's basically one con. The top gets pretty hot, but they provided you basically with a fix. For me, it's not that big of a deal because I really don't chain vape. I just, you know, take a vape or two and then put it aside again. Another subjective con is basically that the drip tip is built in, so you can't really so this is the outer part of the drip tip you just slide on. You can fit your regular 510 drip tips on top, but you do end up with a funny looking top here. If you do have a slimmer drip tip, you can basically place this one on top and then end up with a look something like this here, and it's pretty good. And those are basically the only cons that I can come up with. The RBA base, when it's inside, it gives you a total tank capacity of 2 mils. With the pre-made coils, you get a total capacity of 3.5 mils, which is basically okay. But as I said, those coils, the pre-made coils and the RBA base, they really go through large amounts of juice in a short time. I filled this up like maybe 10 minutes ago and it's nearly half empty. So let's talk a little bit about the pros for this device, and there's actually a lot of them. First of all, the tank is pretty lightweight. It's small, and with the pre-made coils it does give you a fair amount of juice capacity, 3.5 mils. I did mention that in the cons, but actually it's pretty enough for something like this. If you do sub-ohm or if you drip, you're kind of used to going through a lot of juice anyways, so I wouldn't really consider that as a con. They do have an option to upgrade the tank capacity with a bigger tank, giving you 5 mils of juice as I come to understand, and that should definitely work much better with the RBA base. The tank is pretty cheap. On Padalica HR's website it comes out to 25.77 euros, or in Croatian kunas that's around 193.50 kunas, which is definitely on the budget and cheaper side of tanks. You do get large amounts of airflow, so if you're into airflows, even with the RBA base, you do get a lot of airflow. You can even restrict it in a way with those with this airflow rings to get this nice and restrictive direct lung hit that I like. And as I said, it's working really nicely. So another pro is definitely the flavor side of the Cleito. Even with the pre-made bought coils or with the RBA base, you're not getting left behind with flavor. So this is, in my point of view, really a nice sub-ohm flavor machine, and I do really highly recommend it. Another pro for this device is of course the easy top fill, and let's just say the abundance of accessories that comes with the tank. You do get an extra glass piece section, you do get an extra coil head. You do get those top cap rings in a bunch of colors, as well as some protector silicone rings for the tank. And basically, for the money that you're spending, you're getting a really nice tank, consistent flavor, consistent performance, and I can only basically highly recommend this. I think this is definitely going to stay in my daily rotation, or at least in my rotation when I need some more airflow. Definitely a really nice tank. Airflow is there, flavor is there. The top cap does heat up a little bit, but as I said, if you put on the silicone ring, it doesn't even look so bad. I think it's really worth the money. If you're looking into sub-ohm tanks and if you need some more airflow, definitely go and give this a try. I think this is a really nice all-in-one tank that you can purchase. And if you're into rebuilding, definitely go with the Cleito RTA system. You basically do get everything in the kit that you need to start building your own coils and playing around with the abundance of flavor options that you get out of this. So as I said, I think Aspire did a really nice job with the Cleito. I have heard a lot of good things about this tank, and I'm actually really glad I could test it out now. And as I said, it's definitely going to stay in my rotation for tanks if I need something smaller and stealthier with me. So I hope you did find some of those informations useful. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot to me. Also feel free to follow me on my other social networks. I do have a Facebook page, I do have a Twitter account and an Instagram account. I will leave all the links down in the description box below. If you do have any other questions or review requests, you can put them down in the comment section below as well, or just send me an email to rickysvapespot@gmail.com. So, and that was about it for today. I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of the day. Let's keep on vaping, and I'll see you again pretty soon.